Hey again, this is Andy from potatoesandpearls.com, and in this video I am going to show you how I make my vegan fettuccine alfredo. I'm going to show you all the simple steps I do. You will need a blender for this process, and we're going to get into it right after this. The first step is to cook the pasta. So I just have some boiling water going here. And that's about 2 servings of pasta according to, I have one of those like pasta measures. It wasn't that much of the box, maybe like 1/3 of the box, I guess, for a better estimate. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cook that as regular pasta. Next, for the vegan Parmesan cheese, you're gonna put in 1/2 cup of nuts. I use a mix of almonds and sunflower kernels. It just tastes better to me. 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. You put in 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder and 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder. The reason I do that is just to give the quote-unquote cheese a little bit more zhuzh, a little bit more flavor. Once you have that in your blender, and you can use any type of blender for this, you just want to pulse the mixture a few times. My machine, you hold the button for it, so, or you press the button and it'll pulse it for you for a few seconds. But if you don't have a blender like mine, you can just keep pressing the pulse button until you get a blend that resembles Parmesan cheese from the shaker can. And that's what it looks like. Now, what I tend to do is I put mine through a flour sifter or sugar sifter, whatever you call it or use it for, just to get out some of the big chunks of almonds that may not have blended up. The good thing about using sunflower kernels is that they tend to evaporate, or not evaporate, but you know, they tend to disappear once it's been blended well enough. Next, we're going to make the vegan Alfredo sauce. I am using a cooking blender for this, which makes it a lot easier. If you don't have a cooking blender, you can always just use a regular blender to blend the ingredients and then heat up the sauce on the stovetop. I put in 8 ounces of silken tofu, and I am adding in 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. The butter is in soft form, so I just used a regular measuring spoon to get those tablespoons. I've just added in a 1/2 tablespoon of parsley, and I am now going to add in 1 1/2 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. If you're unfamiliar with nutritional yeast, it tends to help with the cheese flavor of vegan items. I'm going to add in 1/2 tablespoon of garlic and 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder. Again, just for some flavor. You would put garlic and onion powder, maybe depending on who you are, into your Alfredo sauce. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt for taste. I want to make a note here that after I put on the lid, I did add in a 1/2 cup of almond milk. I forgot to record that, just to thin out the mix. I am putting my Instant Pot blender into puree mode. Puree mode does heat up the sauce and it blends everything together nicely. It's not going to be boiling hot, but it is the perfect temperature to add to my pasta. And as you can see, this is the finished Alfredo sauce in the blender. It does thicken up once I add it to the noodles, which you can see here. I've gone ahead and poured my Alfredo sauce in with my noodles. I'm going to add in a little bit of our faux Parmesan cheese, our vegan Parmesan cheese. And I like to just blend in a little bit with the sauce and the noodles because it helps to thicken up the sauce. And that's pretty much it. We have finished our vegan fettuccine alfredo. I am not a strict vegan. I will eat vegan meals off and on, or if I'm cooking for some of my vegan friends, I will throw something together. This is one of my favorite recipes, just for on the vegan side, just because it does have a lot of flavor to it, and you can jazz it up. You can add in vegetables, you can add in tofu. If you're not strictly vegan, you can add in chicken. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. I post food videos pretty much weekly. Sometimes I post travel videos of the interesting places that I've stayed, and I hope I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.